We of the jury find the defendant not guilty on all charges.
Oh my God. Oh,
Oh, hell
thank
no, that's some
you,
bullshit
God.
right there now.
What in tarnation? Oh, hell no. Now that's some bullshit right there. I tell you what, Chuck, that damn potato right there, he took Graham the Clown's mama, and when the XWEPD find out, we're gonna put him in prison the rest of his life.
Would you
That's some
please calm
bullshit.
down?
That trial's
Listen
some
to me. No,
bullshit
no,
right
no.
there.
You got it all wrong.
No. They're good. This was the trial of Kyle Rittenhouse. You know, the white on black crime where the white kid here shot the other white people. Yeah. That's interesting. You know, everybody's entitled to a mistake every once in a while, Chuck. I tell you what. Let me make up for it, though. Can I have some airtime here, please, sir? All right. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen of the XWE, my name is Thurgood Robertson of the XWEPD, and I tell you what, come 2024, you're going to want to vote for me because I'm for the cats, I'm for the coons, hell, I'm Thurgood, and I'm from everyone. Okay, that sounds interesting. Are you also for the...
Audio Jungle.
Good evening. I'm Chuck Hucklebuck, and this is this is different. As you've noticed over the last few months, the format has changed around here, and it's a shame that I'm quite on my own, but yet it reminds me of a more refreshing time when I didn't have colleagues to help me out because, honestly, I'm much more entertaining than them stupid son of a bitches anyhow. Anyway, XWE returned for a house show entitled XWE's In Your House Show. Who the fuck named this? Nonetheless, we opened up at Bloomington, the Mall of America. We weren't there. We're probably all on Santa's naughty list, but goodness gracious, as we all seen the main banner for this special event, we heard rumors that the dog was on the roof. She was angry, as she usually is. She was threatening the apocalypse. It seemed as if it was the time that she was actually serious. But fans, you won't guess what happened. That kangaroo finally came and he got up on the roof and they made love, and the dog has agreed to call off the apocalypse, and she's doing just fine, or at least she is for the next day or so until she declares the apocalypse again. But nonetheless, we break into this event with what seemed to be a first time ever. It was the GOAT, Thomas Austin, taking on the women's champion, the stabby bitch, Alicia White. And guys, this one didn't go as quite as expected. Thomas Austin was furious. He was all over social media. Bless his heart, whoever taught him how to use social media. Also, they're a curse and need to be locked away, far away, throw away the key. But Thomas Austin's been all over social media talking trash, doing his social media thing, doing his Thomas Austin shtick. He ate some wasp. He ate a garden snake. It was just a horrible, but nonetheless, Alicia White appeared that she wouldn't be rocked by any of this, but you just never should judge a book by its cover or whatnot, because Alicia White didn't even show up for the match. This infuriated Thomas Austin and made things just so much worse. Thomas Austin fiercely walks out. He came into my office. He threatened me. I'm bruised up. Thomas, I'm sorry, Thomas. I wish I could change things, but I guess the message here would be, don't cash checks that your ass... Wait, hold on. The tables have turned. Tables. Don't write checks that your ass can't cash. I think that's what I was trying to go with there. Nonetheless, Thomas Austin picks up another frustrating victory. But kudos to him, the Legends champion, as always, looking in tip-top shape. That moved us into the television championship match between Glenn Sexton, the new champion, taking on BZ Badass. And guys, this one was exciting. There was a lot of trash talk here. BZ Badass, of course, being part of the coalition. We know what the deal is with the coalition here in XWE. Glenn Sexton comes back just recently into XWE, not long ago, and starts right back where he left off after Invasion. Despite losing the X Division Championship, he picked up the Television Championship from Brother Moses, if you recall, at Devil's Night. BZ Badass gives everything he has here. It appears that Glenn Sexton may have his number, though. BZ Badass, wow. And then the coalition, of course, charges the ring. Rain Carter not to be found, however, which was funny. But the remaining members of the coalition charge in, and it's declared a disqualification. BZ Badass takes the loss here, but Glenn Sexton not too happy with the victory, despite being a disqualification. Feels like he had it in the bag there by himself. The coalition yet continue to cause trouble. They try to they attack Glenn Sexton. Glenn Sexton, fends for himself. He's out there. I'm not gonna say who he looks like. He I was about to make a Kyle Rittenhouse joke where he's like, being attacked. I would get canceled for that. Oh man. Anyway, Glenn Sexton, security comes out. Glenn Sexton still being held back. The coalition's being held back. Glenn Sexton still tries to break loose. He makes idle threats towards BZ, so depending on the draft here, this has the potential to go forward and be something. Nonetheless, that takes us into our next match between Pestilence taking on Daniel Saint. And I would like to say Daniel Saint, but it seemed like Dan Housing Saint appeared. He gave us quite a show. He opened up before Pestilence even came to the ring and entertained our crowds, who are mostly filled of marks in the first place. So they really jacked off to this one. Nonetheless, Pestilence had some jacking off to do of his own as he made his way to the ring. He wasn't too happy with Mr. Saint. And of course, like every Pestilence match, ladies and gentlemen, it goes off the rails. Pestilence, of course, tries to do his thing and tries to put his hands where they don't belong on Daniel Saint. But Daniel Saint shockingly accepts this and also tries to put maybe his hands where they don't belong on Mr. Pestilence. Pestilence, it didn't seem to... Anytime that someone else offers a return to Pestilence, he does not enjoy it. We have found that out at Devil's Night. Nonetheless, Daniel Saint gets back down to business here and picks up the victory. Daniel Saint looking good coming out of this. Daniel Saint, as we know, is over on Massacre, and from what I'm hearing, Daniel Saint is maybe going to be on the top bucket list for Eclipse coming up, so look out, Massacre. Next, speaking of Massacre, was the Massacre Championship between the problem Carl Coles, who has been on an absolute roll here in XWE, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't checked out Carl Coles in the last few months, then you don't know what you're missing. He took on Blackie Cena. Don't adjust, don't turn me up, definitely don't turn me down. Don't adjust anything, you heard me right. Blackie Cena comes out here, and Carl Coles looks at this as just a joke. He looks in the camera and says, calls out the Mancho Hug, wondering what's going on here. He takes the match nonetheless, and he lays just an absolute beatdown on this imposter that is Blackie Cena. Carl Coles, as I mentioned, been on quite the roll in XWE. Wipes this out, puts it away. 1, 2, 3. Blackie Cena obviously couldn't see Carl. Does that joke work here? I don't want to get canceled. Never mind. Carl Coles picks up an easy victory here, ladies and gentlemen. But after the match, Carl Coles gets attacked, and it shows that this was just a setup all along. You was wondering where Rain Carter was, and there's Rain Carter. He attacks Carl Coles. He holds up his championship and looks at it before dropping it back across Carl Coles, telling him to love it while he can. What's going to come? Will this big match take place at the Passion? Will we see it at Incarnation? When are we going to get this match between Rayne Carter? But we know one thing. He has made it evident and clear that Carl Coles is on his list and that the Massacre Championship is going to come home to the Coalition. Carl Coles needs to be on the lookout here. I know he still has the LOD on his side, but the LOD isn't looking exactly like their LOD any longer, if you know what I mean. Speaking of the LOD not looking like themselves, recently they took on the tag team champions. The new tag team champions consisting of Dave Barron and Rodney Morse. Rodney Morse, the double champion now, winning the TOPW Heavyweight Championship. We have seen him. And I got to say, kudos. If anybody deserves it in this business, Rodney Morse put a smile on everybody's face. Seeing him win his, I believe I want to say, his first world championship ever in the business. And another warming feeling like what we got with Carl Coles when he won the Massacre Championship. Nonetheless, the LOD didn't give an absolute shit about any of that. Triple M comes in doing his typical Triple M things, his shit. He throws it down. There's pop-up Germans. He's really kind of taking this whole match over for himself. Shooter J obviously has been frustrated lately. He came out of Devil's Night so close to that Massacre Championship himself. He has been demanding a one-on-one for quite some time now. We're going to see if his prayers, his answer, if he gets an answer real soon. I wish I could give him one, but I'm not the Massacre GM. Nonetheless, these two are looking good right here. But all of a sudden, Barron and Morris, we see crumbles of perhaps what used to be a strong team between the LOD, as Shooter gets the tag and he comes in to try to level Rodney Morse. He misses, runs right into Triple M. Triple M goes tumbling off the apron, roll up, 1, 2, 3, and the Revelation retains. Problems amongst the LOD continue, and it's kind of like they're no longer a team, it seems like. It seems they're more just like an affiliation as instead of a stable. Shooter J doesn't even attempt to help Triple M. He just drops off the apron and heads to the back. You know, by himself, he's making demands. He wants his singles Massacre Championship. Triple M doesn't even show much of a care himself. He's like, I'm still the longest reigning Real Pro champion. I am Real Pro. Fuck Zach Monstar, I guess, and Johnny Christ and that other spy guy. But nonetheless, that took us right into the challengers. The X-Click, the Mancho Huck. Can we call him the Mancho Huck anymore? He said the Mancho Huck was dead. Huck, now, taking on as him and Happy challenge the kids here, or can I call them kids? Tom Matthews and Austin Ace at the Passion for the Massacre Championships. But nonetheless, here at the house show, man, Huck took on Tom Matthews in what was a fantastic match. Both men fired shots at each other all over social media. We got Tom Matthews. It like everything in life, things turned political, and they were really, by the time they got in the ring, ready to beat the shit out of each other, and that's exactly what happened. These two guys just wailed on each other. No sign of Happy, no sign of Austin Ace, until it appears that Tom Matthews may have this one in the bag. Huck kicks out at 2. He acts as if he's gonna hook up and everything here. You know, that didn't look like a hookup. That never mind. Speaking of that, going back to jacking each other off on that one match, huh? Huck kicks out. He acts like he's gonna hook up here, and Tom Matthews is having absolutely none of it. He's like, "No, we're not doing that. This is real wrestling. We ain't having none of that crap here." He turns around, however, and runs right into Molly, which is that, I don't know how to describe, blow mold sword that Happy carries around with him. Nails him right in the top of the head. Down crumbles Tom Matthews. He looked like a twin tower, just couldn't take anymore. It's not too. Just a twin tower just tumbling down, imploding. And Huck and the bell ring. The referee goes to call for the bell, but Huck stops him and is like, "This is my company. I do what I want to do." And then Huck goes and puts his foot on Tom Matthews and forces the referee to count 1, 2, and he grabs Tom Matthews' arm and forces him to throw his shoulder up. He's just it's like a cat and mouse here thing. Then he tells the referee to now call for the bell. The referee calls for the bell. Tom Matthews is declared the winner because of disqualification here. But where was Austin Ace in all of this? We pan to the back and see Austin Ace trapped in the locker room. His tables, idol, just everything back there has been held against the locker room door to keep him in. They finally get him out, and Austin Ace rushes to the ring, but it's too late. As he aids his friend, Huck and Happy have made off, but we get Tom Matthews looked at, and we figure, I guess they're going to be at the emergency room here after it seemed that's going to be a concussion. I don't know what that thing is made out of, but that's easily a concussion. And it appears that Austin Ace has left with his tag team partner and fellow co-champion Tom Matthews. But that moves us into the next match between Happy and TJ Vegas. Happy returns. He doesn't look shaken up or scared too much. He realizes that both, Austin Ace has exited with Tom Matthews. He takes on TJ Vegas in what I would consider to be an amazing match. First time ever, TJ Vegas, the man that with a loud mouth, and he's facing another man that is very opinionated, I guess you could say. An outstanding match. Happy looks like he might definitely have this one in the bag. Maybe he has the louder mouth or the bigger moveset, but here we go. We thought Austin Ace was gone. Austin Ace hits the ring as the referee, now distracted, Austin Ace cracks Happy with a super kick. This leads him down. TJ Vegas is a little shocked, but he ain't complaining. He hits him 1, 2, 3. TJ Vegas picks up the victory over Happy. A little bit of revenge. Huck comes charging out, gives chase to Austin Ace, but that ain't happening. Austin Ace gets away with a little bit of revenge here as Huck tends to Happy, and that's going to be a lot of hell to pay, boys. I do not envy you come the passion when you face the XwE. Nonetheless, congratulations, TJ Vegas. This is a huge victory for him. I would think that if he stays over on the Massacre Brown after that big pickup victory, he should be looking for more coming soon. However, next, it was the Network Championship, and what we thought was going to be Cody Omega, the new champion, with his now manager. We know their whole ploy of that's what happened to Cody Omega. He lost to Robbie Cutthroat and had to leave the company, and Robbie kept the scarf. Now all of a sudden, Robbie, it was a huge plan all along. Robbie's back with Cody Omega. They took on Tommy Dyer. However, speaking of just trickery, it was not Cody Omega. Cody Omega came on the Titantron. Tommy Dyer looking right up there, looking like this is about to be some bullshit here. Announces that he will not be in attendance tonight. He had to take some care of some business back in his home country of Canada. Well, I don't know what y'all do. I'm not sure what y'all do over there. Nonetheless, he sends out Robbie Cutthroat in his place. This has infuriated Tommy Dyer, I imagine. Tommy Dyer takes Robbie Cutthroat straight to town. Straight to town. Tommy Dyer is just putting on a wrestling clinic here against Robbie Cutthroat. Tommy Dyer is frustrated. He's already had to deal with enough bullshit back from Devil's Night, I suppose, where, all that went down. And Tommy Dyer is just looking to let some out. Nonetheless, Cody Omega isn't in Canada. Cody Omega appears, and he causes this disqualification. Tommy Dyer picks up the victory, but Tommy Dyer takes a fucking beat down from Robbie and Cody Omega, who, once again, No good. Robbie picks up the microphone and says, and that's how Robbie ruins everything. Maybe that's his new thing, to ruin everything. Nonetheless, Tommy Dyer holding his head afterwards as Cody Omega retains the championship. Tommy Dyer looking up, very frustrated. I would imagine if these two were to stay on the Massacre or either go over to the Eclipse, if they end up on the same brand, there's a lot more to come from that. That just ain't gonna be a dead dog line, I imagine. Nonetheless, that moves us into the undisputed heavyweight championship between Officer Throne, who is the champion. He won it at Devil's Night. You can say what you want to. He might have won it the crooked cop way, or maybe he laid down some justice all along, but he took on the Bogan Brute. And guys, this was a match. These two behemoths beat the shit out of each other. I'm talking, we had blood. We seen everything in this match. I was flabbergasted of the effort that really went into this. Nonetheless, the Bogan Brute looks like he's going to become a two-time. Remember, he is the first ever undisputed champion of XWE. He's about to become a two-time XWE heavyweight champion as he hits a cunt bomb. But here comes the XWE PD to save the day. Mikey Pro hits the ring, Lieutenant Mikey Pro, and here comes Thorogood. Thorogood, they come in and lay down some law, but they don't put their hands exactly on the Bogan Brute. Lieutenant is over there throwing down, distracting the referee as suddenly the Bogan Brute is handcuffed by Thorogood Robertson. And Thorogood, used to be a good man, and he was just in here, and I hope he's not still in here so I can talk shit about him. But he used to be a good man. I wouldn't vote for him. Don't vote for him. He's going to be worse than Trump. Nonetheless, man, the Bogan Brute, the referee doesn't even know what's going on. The Bogan Brute, tough as nails, though, ladies and gentlemen. Tyler Throne lays a beating on the Bogan Brute. He tries to pin him, 1-2 kick out. 1-2 kick out over and over and over. He just keeps beating him and keeps beating him and keeps beating him. And the Bogan Brute keeps kicking out. Finally, Officer Throne gets just completely frustrated and rolls out of the ring, grabs a steel chair and just plows it on top of the head of the Bogan Brute. And then the bell rings. Bogan Brute takes the DQ victory. But Tyler Throne continues to lay a massive beating down. Unbelievable. And I gotta say, is this how the XWEPD is gonna be? A bunch of crooked cops just laying down beatings on the on the Australians? Nonetheless, security has to come out there, try to get control, and they turn on security and say, "We're the fucking security here. We're the cops. We run this place." Tyler Throne grabs his belt as he's followed by Thorogood and Lieutenant Mikey P as they head to the back. They cut a promo together in the back talking about domination and XWE, how they're here to take all the naggers out. I can say that, right? All the naggers out. We have quite a mess on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. The Bogan Brute being attended to. He's the second one tonight to be sent to the local hospital. Prayers going out for him. He should. My advice is he should have laid down the first time instead of. He's one tough son of a bitch, but this ain't looking good, guys. He took quite a beating. Anyway, we moved on into our main event between the Morgue Man Rich Diaz and the Ace, the Ace Nick White, and it was for the Eclipse Championship. The Morgue Man coming out of Devil's Night with the victory over Indrajay. Nick White coming off a battle with the X-Click. Guys, I mean, this is the first timer ever here. This one was made in heaven. But the tracks didn't last for long. Nick White held it in there for me. And then as Diaz went to grab him and pick him back up and take him in, boom! White privilege. Yet again, he goes in to crawl. He's crawling towards the morgue man, he's crawling to try to get the pinfall, and then suddenly here comes the unfiltered animal, Grant Miller, and the ace Nick White notices this. He sees Grant coming. He's waving him off. He's like, "No, I don't need your help. Go. Don't blow this for me. Don't blow. You can face me. You can go." Grant actually listens for once. He stops and he stays at ringside, and he waits as Nick makes it to Rich Diaz for the cover. 1, 2, and the morgue man kicks out. Nick White knew he had it. If it wasn't for the distraction right there, Nick White would have had this match won, ladies and gentlemen. He crawls up. He musters all that he can. He's still hurting in his midsection. He's holding himself. He's trying to get some strength back. He goes to pick up the morgue man, and he tries to hit the white privilege once more. The morgue man shoves him into the ropes, and as Nick White bounces back, he hits the pop-up Felter bomb. He holds it in. He hooks the tights for the 1, 2, and 3. The morgue man yet again somehow manages to pick up the victory, and he you can call it what you want. He cheats his way to victory. You can call it was a flawless victory, but the morgue man somehow, yet being the dead man of XWE, manages ironically to survive. Nick White unbelievably upset, and I can see the frustration building with him. He's been threatening retirement for a while. He just feels like maybe he doesn't have it anymore. He just wants to feel something. I'm pretty sure after that shot to the groin, he feels a lot of that. But he slides out of the ring. He doesn't even, he just tips his hat to Rich Diaz, win or loss. And he looks over at Grant and he just shakes his head. And it's like, he always says, like, soon I'm going to be with you. Me and you's about to be in the same boat. And I'm assuming that means end of the line, folks. I'm assuming that's what it means. As hurtful as it sounds for us fans in this industry, you know, sometimes you gotta just let your legends ride off into the sunset. But nonetheless, Chuck Hucklebuck here has always got that money. So, and plus he's got the Pikachu. He's got the Pikachu title, but the Pikachu contract. Oh God! Nonetheless, that rounds out the house show. And we won't be returning until the draft, and then we'll be going from the draft straight into the passion, ladies and gentlemen. For everybody that has helped me in production, I've done the best that I could do. I love you all. I bid you an adieu. For Chuck Hucklebuck and WFUK, I haven't done this in so long. I leave you with this.
Come here, you fucking humongous muscular cat. You magnificent motherfucker, you.